In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to create this super amazing samurai boy. We're just gonna need one picture for this, and all the rest we're gonna create using brushes. Now these brushes are available in the Ultimate Brush Bundle version 3, which includes 176 hyper-realistic looking brushes, just like you'll see in this video, from fire, water, particles, smoke, northern lights, planets, birds, waterfalls, and so on. And it comes with a full tutorial library so you can get the most out of the bundle. The link is down below in the video description, and let me show you how to create this amazing image. Now let's go to the original image, which is this one right over here. And if I want to swap out the background, I can just make a selection of this boy and extract him from the background. So let's say we want to do that for this example. So I'm just gonna make a very quick selection of him. Make sure to include his hair as well. And you want to be covering everything, so you also want the tip of his nose, etc, etc. And if you want to check your selection, you can press Q on the keyboard and you can see everything that is red is not selected and everything that's white is selected. So now it's going to be fairly easy for us to make a nice and good selection of our boy. Now as you can see, Affinity Photo deselected this, and I selected this and I want to deselect it, so I'm going to hold Alt or Option on the Mac and just click and drag to deselect it. Now let's continue and let's cover his hands and the sword, because obviously this is the main part of the image. And you can see that Affinity has a little more struggles with this area, and that is because the background is pretty similar color to the foreground, let's say. Alright, I think this selection looks really nice. Now of course there might be a little trouble here with his hairs, and that is because his hairs look similar to the background. So what I could do is just grab any very soft, very small, harder round brush. So let's press B on the keyboard. Let's grab this one. Let's reduce the hardness a little bit, and you want to make sure the spacing is 0 or is very low, let's say. And I have got pen pressure on because I'm working with my graphic tablet. And now I can, with white, I can just brush in, let's say, some nice hair strains if I wanted to. So this is a way to make hair look better in an end result. And of course, you can see a little bit through. So you can see a little bit where the original hair strains were. So you can just, basically mimic these hair strains if you wanted to. Now, let's say I'm happy with my selection, so I'm going to press Q on the keyboard. And now, let's say I might want to change the background, so I'm going to just press Command J to put this boy on its own layer, press Command D to deselect. And now when I use my move tool, you can see that I have the boy separated from the background. Now, there's a nice trick to remove him from the original image, let's say. And that is to load your selection. So I'm going to hold Command and hit the thumbnail of this little boy, and then press Command B on the keyboard, which would probably be Control B on Windows. And then you open this Grow Shrink selection. Just increase it slightly, so just a little bit. So let's say 15 pixels, and let's hit Apply. Now go to your background layer, and what you want to do is you want to go to Edit and Fill, or use the keyboard shortcut as I prefer, Shift F5. So let's actually do that. Let's press Shift F5. And you want to fill this with inpainting. And once you do that, Affinity Photo should load a little bit, at least for my computer, because it's not so quick. And it will try to fill in the pixels. Alright, now it looks like nothing happened, and that is because we actually have the boy still here open. So if we hide the boy, you can see that Affinity did quite a nice job in removing the boy. So now we're just a little more flexible about where we want to position him. So let's say we want to move him a little bit to the left. We can totally do so without disturbing the whole image. And actually I think this looks a little nicer for the composition. So what I want to do is I want to set this sword on fire. So I'm going to just create a new boy. Let's actually first rename this. So let's call this one Samurai. And a little trick here, if you want to rename multiple layers, now I can just press Tab and I will quickly go to rename the other one. But this one is already nice. It's got already the right name. So if you double click on your layer, you can rename it. But if you press Tab, you can actually rename the next one, let's say. So let's go and light up his sword. And the first thing I want to do is go to the IAMRENSI fire brushes. And these are available in the Ultimate Brush Bundle. So if you're interested, just make sure to check out the link below, because I'm running a huge Black Friday sale. And let's actually grab this one right here. So I'm going to press B on the keyboard, and obviously I want to make sure that I'm working on my new pixel layer. So I pressed B on the keyboard, and I just want to reduce the size a little bit. Now I don't see any preview, and that is because I still have my pen pressure check. So I'm going to uncheck it, and now I can actually see the preview. And this is just some fire blaze, let's say. So I'm just going to click once. I'm going to use my move tool, and I just want to position it over the sword. Something like this looks pretty good. Now it's a little bit too long, so we can actually make it a little shorter. Something like this looks pretty good. Now you can see that it doesn't twirl very nice around my sword, so I can actually tackle that by using the mesh warp tool. So I can use the mesh warp live filter, which would be non-destructive. So let's actually do that. Or you can just use the mesh warp tool right here in this toolbox. And now I can just move this thing around a little bit. So if I want this corner to be stuck, I would double click here. And now I can just use, let's say, these handles and these bars to match him with, or match this thing with my shape, let's say. Now, if I want to move it right here, I would double click here, and now I can just move it a little more precise, let's say. All right, so let's say I'm pretty happy with my result. I'm gonna hit done, and yeah, this looks pretty good. So this was the before, and this is the after, and now it actually covers the full sword. Now you can see that that this is a pretty hard edge, which is something I don't really like. So I would create a layer mask on my fire blaze layer. So let's say, or fire sword, I shouldn't call this. And I'm just gonna press B on the keyboard to select my brush tool. Let's go to my normal basic brushes, and let's grab a soft round brush. Let's zoom out a little bit and make sure the mask is selected. And now once we brush over with black, you can see that I can hide the effect from certain areas. Just like that. All right, now to give this thing some nice fire color, I want to create a layer effects, and I want to add an outer glow and an inner glow. So let's actually position the sword here so we can see what we do. Let's first create an inner glow, and we want to set this inner glow to pretty yellowish. So maybe yellow orangey, and you want to set the blend mode to normal because otherwise you don't really see what's happening. So something like this looks pretty good. And then let's go to an outer glow, and the outer glow you want to make it a little more orangey. So more red orange. Same thing, you can either leave it to screen, which sometimes works like this. You can give it some nice outer glow if you want to. Actually, this looks pretty cool, but let's just not do that for this edit. And you can play if you can just check what looks better. So either screen or normal. I think normal is too hard, so I'm just gonna go with screen in this case. Now let's say if I want to add some red to this flame as well, I could even add an outer shadow as well. Set the blend mode to normal and just change this color to red, like so, and increase the radius just a little bit. You can play with the intensity as well. And I think this looks pretty good. So this was the before and this is the after, and it just gives a little extra to the sword. You can change the radius if you want to, so you can really go crazy with this, but I don't really want that. I just want it to be, yeah, a slight change, let's say. All right, so this already looks very nice. Now, of course, I want to add some more fire to this sword and some other elements, so let's do that right now. So I'm gonna go back to my fire brushes. Let's create a new pixel layer, and I want to add, let's say, this brush right here, so that it actually looks like the flames are coming from the sword. Now, I want to set my color to white again, but actually it doesn't really matter with these brushes because you can also use a color overlay. So let's actually make them black for now, and let me show you what I mean. So let's actually position these flames like this. Looks pretty nice. And we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna use the layer effects. Let me actually just tilt this thing a little bit, or move these flames a little bit more upwards so that it looks more realistic, let's say, because flames obviously go up. And what I can do is I can just copy these layer effects. Now, a simple way to do this, and I've just recently learned this trick, is you can just click and drag this to another layer, and you can see that it is copied now. Now, it obviously looks very weird, and that is because we stamped it with black and not with white. So if we want to change this, we can just go into the layer effects and change the color overlay. So if we change the color overlay to yellow or to white, what we want in this case, you can see that this is totally possible. Or if we want to make it a little more orangey, we can totally do so in the color overlay. So I think this looks pretty badass actually. Maybe we want to give this one a little more glow. So what we could do is go to the outer glow and just increase the glow quite a bit. And this looks pretty decent to me. Now, if we want to, we can of course reposition this thing a little bit. We can also use like the mesh warp filter once again. So I'm just gonna use the mesh warp tool for now. And yeah, just position this however you want. Something like this looks pretty good. Let's hit apply. And maybe I want to tweak the colors of this one a little bit because I think the inside is too wide, let's say. So let's actually increase the radius a little bit. And let's see if we can. This one I think I don't need for this one, like the outer shadow. All right, this looks very nice. Now, of course, we want to add some more elements. So I'm just gonna create a new pixel layer, and let's go to the electric brushes, and let's actually create some nice electricity around this sword as well. So let's go for this brush, and of course you can see there are quite many. But yeah, let's just go for this one, and let's create a wide one for now. Let's stamp it right in the middle because you don't want it to be cut off. So let's stamp it right in the middle, and just gonna use the move tool once again to position this thing. I think this looks pretty nice. Now let's change the color of this thing because yeah, we can. So let's go to the layer effects, and for this one I just want to add an outer glow and maybe just want to give it some nice blue color. And let's actually keep the blend mode to screen and just increase the intensity in the radius a little bit so we get this nice blue lighting, let's say. All right, this looks very nice. Now, there's two more things that I want to add to this sword, and the first thing is going to be a little smoke. So let's go to the smoke brushes. Let's create a new pixel layer, and let's just use this smoke brush right here. Gonna press B on the keyboard and just gonna click once. And now I just want to position this smoke, let's say, above my sword, and let's actually position it a little different. So maybe just like this. And I want to erase the bottom part, so I can either create a layer mask or just use my eraser brush because yeah, I work non-destructive, but I'm pretty sure that I won't have to move this thing a whole lot, so I can work destructive. And I don't like that the smoke is white. I just want to make it more orangey, so I can do that with an outer glow as usual, or I can do it with a color overlay, but let's use outer glow for this case, just to give it some slight orange color. There we go. Now, the next thing and the last thing that I want to add are particles, and this just makes it a whole lot more cinematic, so to say. So let's actually create a new pixel layer, and let's go to the IAMRENSI particle brushes, and let's just create a few particle layers. So I'm gonna press B on the keyboard and just decrease the brush size maybe a little bit. Just click once. This would look pretty nice, but maybe I want some more particles. So let's actually create a little more, something like this. Maybe I want some bigger particles as well. So let's actually grab another particle brush. These ones maybe. Just click once. And these are all on one layer now. And what I want to do is I give these things a nice little outer glow so that they also look like the fire. So I'm just gonna make it a little more orangey. Like so. Maybe move it around a little bit so that I position it however I want. Maybe just like this. And what I'm gonna do now is hold Alt and click an empty layer, create an empty layer mask. And with the soft round brush, so let's go back to the basic brushes and let's go to the soft round brush. Let's grab a very low flow. So I'm usually gonna go for a flow like 2% or 1%. And now once I brush over with white, you can actually see that we get these very nice particle thingies flying around our sword. And this just gives it a little more, yes, cinematic style, let's say. Now, if we want to further enhance this image, we can even add some more particles to the foreground. So I'm going to create a new pixel layer. I'm going to go to the particle brushes and just grab some very nice larger particle brushes, actually. Not like this, maybe like these. So let's actually create this. This looks pretty good. Let's click in the middle. And I want to add these to the foreground, actually. Something like this. And also let's add the same layer effects to this one so that we've got these nice orangey particles. And let's actually darken the background a little bit because it just looks a lot nicer when we're working with something that glows. So I'm going to go to my background layer and hit exposure and just decrease the exposure quite a bit. And also I want to darken the left side of the boy a little bit. So I'm going to go to my samurai layer. I'm going to create an exposure adjustment layer, decrease the exposure of the boy, make sure to clip it to the boy, and just going to use a gradient tool to just click and drag. Whoops, didn't clip it. To clip and click and drag it onto the boy. Just like so. So this is the before and this is the after. Now, I'm just gonna work a little longer on this image to make it look even cooler. Now, let me use this moment to tell a little bit more about the Ultimate Brush Bundle. This bundle has a ton of brushes that are hyper-realistic, extracted from real photos. Actually, it cost me over 4 years to create the full bundle like it is right now. And now I have added 10 other brush packs and 176 brushes, ranging from northern lights, clouds, lightning, fire, water, plants, trees, rocks, you name it, basically anything you can imagine. So if you're interested, check the link down below. Here's the end result.